Hi, this is Isaac Noriega, and this is my analysis on Discussion 4, Valeria Luiselli's article, Border. First passage that really captivated me was, at least that I want to talk about, was the passage that was talking about La Bestia, the train that goes from southern Mexico all the way to the United States. Usually, um, different Latino American refugees that come from like Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, um, those like more southern countries, those refugees, they take the train over to the United States in order in search for a better life. These trains, they're freight trains, they're not meant for passengers. So people either travel there by getting on top of the rail carts or squeeze in between them. Usually these rail cars are closed, so there's no real going inside unless they're lucky. Um, they stake out there for days at time, grueling like through the elements and the wind, but eventually making it. It is very dangerous. They subject themselves to very high speeds, maybe falling into the tracks if they get sleepy or tired, and getting severely injured or even dying. And it isn't just the train itself, but it's the reputation and the people that it attracts. So the part of the passage that really comes to mind is when she says, and when the train itself is not a threat, it's the smugglers, thieves, policemen, and soldiers who frequently threaten, blackmail, or attack the people on board. There is a saying about La Bestia, go in alive, come out a mummy. Coming out a mummy is not what you want. Like you go in and you seek a better life, but the things that these people see, the horrors or whatever even happens to them or what they are forced to do, it really doesn't sit with them well and it scars them. It traumatizes them. It brings back, it can later bring back like very harsh emotions about the world and about their life. My parents have gone through the migration. That they were Mexican, so they didn't have to travel on La Bestia, but they have heard of it. Um, but my dad, he did cross the desert um, illegally through the border and eventually got his papers. But from then, he did talk about like how crossing the desert, like through that heat for like almost a week, just walking through, like he just had to really pray that the people before him left him some water so that him and his group could at least survive. Um, he talked about like hiding from border patrol when they were patrolling out in the desert and just how like scary it was. He didn't know if like the people that he was going with like he could truly trust, but eventually he did make it, and luckily it didn't become like a horror story like for some other people. It has. My mom, she did cross the border, but she did go through like a checkpoint. Um, she was 14 at the time and she was with her family. And her story, um, it started with her first time trying to go in, and they were all denied passage. So they got stuck in Tijuana for a little bit. They live in Jalisco, so it's the equivalent of like pretty much being in South Dakota and then going all the way to like California at the end. You don't know anyone in California, you don't know anything, but you're trying to get to Mexico and you weren't able to, so now you're stuck in California. You're 14, the oldest person in your party is like maybe 22, and everyone else is just a complete stranger. They have no way of work, no money because they come from very unfortunate backgrounds, and it was very scary for them. But when they tried the second time, she went through the checkpoint again with a caravan of people. And when she was going through there, she had a checkpoint, and one of the guards took a liking to her, and they thought she was older, so they asked if she could like meet this older man in a hotel room. And for the sake of the caravan and everyone going in, she said yes. She didn't go, but she knows that if she would have said no, she wouldn't have gotten everyone past the border. So it's this kind of like demeaning, like, like this evil sense of like they're less than people, so they have to obey the rules that they make up on the spot. Will do whatever they want, or else they're not allowed passage. And I do see it a lot of my parents, and I'm very grateful that they were able to get there safely and without like traumatic things happening to them. And not only that, but like I'm eternally grateful that even when they were here, like they were able to provide me a life that I, I had no idea how fortunate I was until I read passages like this or see movies about it, and it makes me think like, yeah, they put everything on the line just so me and my sisters had a better life.